Hi everybody, it's Maureen of Maureen 97 Designs, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Moda Scrap Bags. I know these have been around pretty much forever, but I only discovered them a few months ago, and I have become absolutely addicted to buying them. I think they are so much fun that you get this little surprise package in your order, and they can be relatively inexpensive. Some places will charge more, some places will charge less, and I'll have some links down below to where I like to get mine from, the best deals that I've found. But in case you're not familiar with it, Moda does these scrap bags, and they come just like this in this brown paper bag, and they're sealed on the back. But they do have little windows so you can see the sort of colorway of the scraps. And then you can also see there's actually one of the fabrics. So I could already tell before I even opened this that this was the Christmas card by Sweetwater. So it's I think a ½ pound of scrap. And what it is, it comes from when Moda is cutting up their pre-cut packs, like jelly rolls, layer cakes, all of that. They have leftover pieces, like from the selvage edges mostly, or other pieces that are left over when they're doing these cuts. And so they put them in these scrap bags, and don't let the name fool you. They are technically scraps, but they're not like crappy scraps, I guess, to me anyway. Some people find the amount of selvage makes it a waste, but I actually like to save my selvages and do something else with them. So to me, this whole thing is usable no matter what. So let me just open this up for you, and I'll show you how it looks on the inside, and then if you don't understand what I'm talking about with the selvages, then you shall see. It comes like this, all rolled up with a rubber band around it. And like I said, this is the Christmas card by Sweetwater from Moda. And you can see there's the selvage edges. This is how I'd say most of the scrap bags come. They come with the strips having one long side entirely selvage, and you can have varying sizes of strips in here. They can be, see, these ones look a little bit skinnier and these ones look a little bit fatter. But some people think that because it's all this selvage, it's a waste, but I actually make selvage projects, and when I cut off my selvages, I leave maybe like a 1/4 inch or something there, so that it has something of a little more interest than just that selvage edge, and it gives you a little more to sew with, and it looks a little better. For instance, I made this bag with my selvages from the Christmas card, and I think it's super, super cute, and I just love it. And by the way, this bag has 4 more Christmas card scrap bags, because that's one of the downsides of getting multiple scrap bags, is that you can get duplicates. It's totally possible. I think in all my scrap bag buying so far, I've gotten maybe about 10 or 12 of the Christmas card, but I've bought, you know, probably like 30 scrap bags, even more than that. So I tend to get like one in every order or something like that. So I have a lot of Christmas card projects ahead of me. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this. So what you can do is you can either get your strips and cut off your selvages right at the very beginning, and then you have all this usable strip fabric. You can figure out what you want to do with that, or you can cut it up and then cut off the selvages as you go. But if you're wanting to make selvage projects, I would recommend cutting off the entire selvage before you start. And then I just keep the selvages in a bag, and then I keep the rest of the roll in a bag. And sometimes what I do is I don't try to leave a little bit of fabric on the selvage side what I do is I actually try and get a certain amount off of the usable side, usable in quotes, because you can usually get honey bun sizes out of these, which is 1.5 inch wide strips. So if I can cut 1.5 inches off of each usable side of my roll, then I'll be left with selvages with a little bit of fabric on some of them, and maybe some of them will be too skinny, and I'll have to just use that as stuffing for a dog bed or something. But a lot of times I can get a whole honey bun, well, not a whole honey bun, I can get a honey bun width out of each strip, and then also have the selvages left over for selvage crafts. So the other really exciting thing about getting these is that Moda is pre-cutting fabric lines to make their pre-cuts. They are cutting them ahead of time of their release so that they'll be ready for release, and they actually put out the offcuts in their scrap bags sometimes before the fabric line is even released to the public. I have gotten a bunch of scrap bags with fabrics that haven't been released to the public, and I was able to play with them and use them and show them off before they were released to the public. So it's almost like I'm an insider or, affiliated or something. Of course I'm not, I wish. But so that's another really exciting thing about scrap bags, is I like to get those ahead of time. The other exciting thing is every so often you'll get a scrap bag like this, and I keep mine in the bags until I use them, so a lot of times I will write what the fabric line is on the bag itself so that I don't have to go digging through all my bags to find what I want. And I put JR here to stand for Jelly Roll because I actually got this package where it looks like Jelly Roll strips. You can see, instead of having the selvage off the long side, it's only on the short side. And so when you measure it, it's basically 2.5 inches wide. So it's like a jelly roll. It doesn't have 40 strips in it. It doesn't have the entire line or anything, but you have a lot more non-selvage fabric to use for your projects. And so this doesn't happen super often, but it happens often enough that it's an incentive for me to buy more, hoping that I'll get some of these sort of faux jelly rolls. So that's another thing that's really exciting about getting these bags, besides just the surprise of what you're getting. Of course, the downsides are, like I said, you can get multiples of the same line, and if you don't like that particular line, it can be kind of disappointing. But then maybe you can sell your bag or trade it with someone else. The other thing is you could just get lines that you're not interested in. I got Farmhouse Flannels too, and I didn't know what I was going to do with just one bag of flannel strips. But I actually ended up making like a little pouch with it, and you always find ways to play with little scraps and stuff. But like I said, if you really can't use a bag, you can either try to sell it or trade it with someone. So I don't think these are a waste at all. I think they're just great value for the money and lots of fun. So I will go in the future into how I actually use some of my scrap bags. If you're interested in that, stay tuned, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.